Hello, everyone. Oh yeah. So, thanks for coming and hanging out with me on the boat here on the lake. We wanted to do a fun little summertime question and answer. We're here on the boat, here on the lake. We're basically where most of you guys will be for the summer, right? Because summertime, it's nice and warm outside. You probably want to get outside, but you also want to stay healthy and fit. So we asked our Facebook group. If you're not a member of the Facebook group, go to Facebook and type in FitEmmett Coaching. That way you can join and we can answer all your questions that you may have to help you get fit, because that's the goal. Help you get fit and stay fit even during the summer, because a lot of you guys will be doing a little bit of this. I don't know where. So let's go ahead and shoot to the questions that.
How important is stretching?
Stretching. So stretching is super duper important, only because the tighter the muscles are, the more tight and the tighter the muscles, the more restricted they are. The more restricted they are, the more joint pain you'll actually experience, because there's so much stress at the joint. So if you want to look into, if you go on YouTube and type in stretch exercises, there's different exercise protocols. The stretching actually helps to lengthen your muscles a little bit more, so that you can achieve a little bit more muscular definition.
Claudette asked, do you have tips for bone strengthening? Struggling with bone density. So tips for bone density is, I would say, Claudette, let's look into something called isometric training. And I know this is like counterintuitive. A lot of people are like, well, you need to take all these supplements. The nutritional aspect is super duper important, but if you're looking at the fitness side of things, isometric is going to be the best protocol to go with. And if you're talking about isometrics, the most famous movement that would be the closest, or that the most popular with isometrics, is a plank, because it's a static hold. Your muscles are under constant tension the whole entire time without the necessary joint stretch and flex, and the trauma or the tension that could be felt into to all the joints. So even doing a squat and holding that bottom position of your squat, that's a good way to help strengthen the muscles and help to add to some of that bone density. So isometric training, look into that. And of course, supplementation, taking your calcium, vitamin D, magnesium, taking like a combination of those in one supplement, they can help as well. So hopefully that helps, Claudette. Keep getting strong, girl. Some people want to know, when should we work out, morning or night? Which is better?
I'm a firm believer in however you start the day, that will be basically how the whole entire day will go. So we want to start the day with a metabolic high. We want to give the body a quick charge, and that's going to be like your body's going to go off to the races in terms of your metabolic rate, how your body processes nutrients. Sometimes when the workout's a little later in the day, there's so many things that can arise. There's responsibilities. Maybe the kids need to go to different things. Maybe you get off work too late and you're super duper tired. Maybe traffic was like backed up on 77 and you can't make it to the gym now, so you're like, oh man, forget about it, because you're too upset. So I always say, make it the first thing that you do, so that there's no excuses. So pick a time during the day, like especially in the morning, when it's like so early that nothing can interrupt you. I say 5 a.m. or 4 a.m. or 3 a.m. But just make sure it's in the morning before the day even starts. What are some of these questions?
We've got, how often should I work out, and how long should the workouts be?
All right, how long should I work out? I would say it depends on your level of fitness. The funny thing is, like in the beginning of the year, there's a lot of what I call January people. They have lofty expectations of the fitness, and they want to do it all in 1 week. It is a marathon, not a sprint, people. So if you're just starting, if you're new, if you're novice to this thing, I would recommend, honestly, whatever you can handle. Honestly, if it's 10 minutes a day for 5 days a week, start with that. Start with your 10 minutes a day. If you can allot 30 minutes, I wouldn't go, if you're a novice, I wouldn't go any longer than 30 minutes for 5 days a week. That should serve you well. And then, of course, as your fitness level increases, then that's when you would increase the duration, your timeline, but don't start off trying to go 2 hours a day. Okay, you're gonna overwhelm your system, and your body's gonna be in shock. You may need an ambulance the third day. But for my advanced lifters, let's say you just took a month off. You've been lifting for 5 years. You just took a month off, and you're going to get back into it. 45 minutes to an hour should be ample enough time. My endurance athletes that are training for marathons or events or anything like that, honestly, 2 hours. 2 hours. I mean, like I said, advanced athletes. I would say up to 2 hours, because there's different things that you'll do within that time. Like when I was a professional bodybuilder, I did my cardio first, then I went into my strength training. Professional bodybuilder, lifting for 20 years. Not someone that's got a year of lifting under their belt. I would say, yeah. Hopefully that helps.
Yeah.
Right.
So it depends on you and what you need and your goals, which is why you need to get with Emmett and get those specific plans laid out for you.
Specific.
Holly asked, do you have any specific joint mobility strengthening exercises for over 55 backpackers?
I would say, like, when you're a backpacker, you're gonna put a lot of stress on the hips. So the joint mobility movements you want to look into are your hip mobility exercises. One in particular, and it's kind of hard for me to do this one here, but you basically sit with both knees bent, and you're going to shift your knees down to the floor on one side, and then shift your knees down to the floor on the other side. So if you look it up on YouTube, and maybe that'll be a good opportunity to do a quick little joint mobility video. But the hips are going to be super duper important, because there's a lot of lateral movement, there's upward movement, so a lot of opening of the hips whenever you're talking about hiking. So hip mobility is going to be your thing. All right, girl, keep rocking it. I know you are. Holly's got some good results.
Nice.
So look back. Holly, post some of your results for everybody. Just show off a little bit, girl, because you're doing good. Keep rocking.
Right. Phyllis from the Facebook group asked,
Phyllis, what's up, girl?
She asked, I'd like to hear about building muscle while you're in deficit. What is realistic?
All right, so there's so many different schools of thought on training with a deficit, right? So your body does have reserves. You can build muscle with a deficit. It just depends on how extreme this deficit is. A lot of these weight loss clinics put you on a 500 calorie diet. If you're on a 500 calorie diet, you will not be lifting. You will not be building adequate muscle. So I'm not saying that you won't build any muscle at all. It'll just be minimized. So I would say whatever your basal metabolic rate is, BMR, you can look up a thing called TDEE calculator. So I think it's T, D as in dog, E as in elephant, E as in elephant, calculator.net. So look that up, and it'll give you your number of how many calories it takes to maintain your body weight, or how many calories you need to take in based on where you're at now. Your body weight, your body fat percentage, and your activity level. So based on that number, if you run a deficit below that, it'll show you, how much activity based on that deficit. So hopefully that's a good resource for your TDEE calculator, and that'll give you some specifics. But I know if you're under an extreme deficit, like 500 calories, good luck on even being able to think straight. I do run a mild deficit for some of my weight loss clients, because your body has to experience a little bit of a deficit, because it's been inundated with calories and large portions for so long, that a slight deficit will actually help kickstart your program or your nutrition plan.
All right, Emmett, what is your favorite exercise?
My favorite exercise is going to be what they call the king of all exercises, or queen of all exercises, however you want to view it. So the king of all exercises is going to be your squat. Your squat is a multi-joint movement that burns the most calories, and it helps to lower the body fat percentage the most. So do about 10 squats and see how you feel, or check your heart rate monitor after 10 squats. and do 10 push-ups and see what the correlation is. You'll burn way more calories doing the squat than you will doing a push-up. So in terms of overall effectiveness, you're engaging your core, your legs, and if you want to engage the upper body, you just add weights in with your squat and do a press as you stand up. So your squat's going to be the best exercise. There's a ton of different variations. If you want to work your inner thigh, outer thigh, your butt, your hamstring. So all the different things can be worked with a squat. So
you have tips on how to ease muscle soreness?
How to ease muscle soreness. So branched chain amino acids, I don't know if you've ever heard of them, BCAAs. They are a good supplement to take if you're getting ample protein in your diet. Your body will break down the amino acids in the proteins. But a lot of people, when they're first starting out, may not necessarily be getting ample enough protein in their diet. Every form of protein is going to break down to amino acids. And that's what fuels your muscles. That's what rebuilds and recovers and restores muscle tissue. So, getting maybe even a protein powder to take after your workouts. So a protein powder, if you have any questions or you want to know about specific ones, I usually, my go-to is the Optimum Nutrition Gold Standard. They are they're kind of one of those long-standing brands. They've been around for a long time, and they do good quality products. They don't put a lot of junk protein in their products. They source really well.
What is the balance between body positivity or getting in shape, would you say?
That's a mental health question.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So
this is therapy now.
Yeah, this is therapy now. So I say that because I had issues with body dysmorphia for a while. And I think that's kind of the main topic is body positivity. How do I view myself in a positive light as I work through a fitness program? How do I not see something that's, because everyone else can say, man, you look so awesome, you look great. And you're like, no, I'm still fat, or I'm still skinny, or, whatever the goal is. Because I saw myself as not FitEmmett or Big Emmett. Sometimes even now when people say, hey, what's up, Big E? I'm like, no, I'm just
what you
Emmett.
trying to say?
I'm just Emmett. I'm Big E. It was more like I was always a slender guy, like coming along in high school. Like I graduated high school at like 115 pounds. So I kind of still somewhat sort of see myself as a 115 pound high school kid, even at 285 pounds when I was bodybuilding.
Mm-hmm.
I still, if people were like, what's up, Big E? I was like, nah, I'm 115 pounds in my mind. So I would say if you really have challenges and struggles with that, that's something that you may need to seek help on outside of trying to conquer it yourself, because you're going to always contend with that voice. Even when you reach your goal, you may still even see that, if you're trying to lose weight, you may be 100 pounds lost, but you may still see that fat person or see yourself as that fat person. So I would say seek help, because body dysmorphia is a real thing. No matter how many people tell you look good or whatever your goal is, if people tell you that you look like what your goal is supposed to be, it's still in your mind. You see yourself as whatever that old story was of you.
Okay. On a lighter note, what is your favorite summer meal?
Favorite summer meal. Let's see. Favorite summer meal. I like burgers and lettuce wrap burgers and watermelon.
Nice. Now I'm hungry.
I love me some watermelon. I got a special way that I cut the watermelon, and we do you can take an ice cream scooper, and you can do
they're like little melon balls.
The melon balls. So,
yeah, that's good.
Have fun with that. You can freeze them. You can freeze them, people. You're welcome.
Then it's like a popsicle.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Aaron asked how to avoid tendinitis in your elbows, knees, and shoulders, or what to do or not to do if you currently already have tendinitis.
Tendinitis. Oh my gosh. So tendinitis, I've struggled with a little bit of tendinitis before. If you are a bodybuilder and you do a lot of repetitive movements, you're putting that joint under that repetitive motion, you will be exposed to a little bit of tendinitis at some point. I would say the best thing is taking a little. I know this is crazy for anyone that I have to do these specific movements every single day. taking time off and shifting your focus from maybe more of the like repetitive weight bearing movements to more of the like yoga, Pilates, stretching protocol, and then shifting back into, and when I say shift, I'm talking about taking maybe a week off, 2 weeks. So all of my fitness competitors that are like, I gotta go to the gym and I have to do bicep curls every day. You're actually causing more inflammation in your joint by doing that. So give your body time to heal, recover, and it could be a result of just so much of the repetitive movements that you're not giving your body ample enough time to rest and recover. So turmeric is also a good supplement to help with pain. Of course, glucosamine, chondroitin, those are also good things for MSM. That's good for joint pain as well. Hyaluronic acid is good for your joint. Those are just all supplements that'll help. But honestly, rest and recovery, and just shift your focus just for a week or two to a different protocol. Maybe some stretching, Pilates, yoga, just something else that'll keep your body moving, or maybe make it a cardio week or a core week, and then switch gears and jump right back into it. So hopefully that helps.
What carbs would you say are okay to eat, if any, and how much?
Carbohydrates. Carbs are not bad. You know, a lot of people are like, man, I just need to cut out all carbs. Nah, not all carbs are bad. Believe it or not, green veggies are carbohydrates.
Mm-hmm.
You know, fruits are carbohydrates. It's just the type of carbohydrates. You're talking about like
bread.
Bread, yeah, processed. Anything processed. Bread, pasta, chips. If it's in a bag, then more than likely it's probably not going to be the best for you. You know, things that are simple, like your simple carbs, I would stray away from those. You know, those are like your cakes, danishes, chips, pasta, bread, white rice. You know, those are simpler carbs. It's just the pathways that they have to go through in your body. It's broken down to glucose really fast. So not to get too sciencey, but you want to go more for your complex carbohydrates because they're complex. Your body has to work a little harder to break down those nutrients. So you want more nutrients that are complex going into your system, more carbohydrates that are complex going into your system. So your brown rice, your oatmeal, your sweet potatoes.
What's the best way to tone the tummy?
Tone the tummy. I recommend doing 1,000 sit-ups a day. Next question. I'm kidding. So that's the idea. A lot of people think that you have to do a ton of sit-ups every day to tone the midsection. Honestly, it's all about nutrition. Healthy eating. A lot of people refer to it as clean eating.
Mm-hmm.
Clean eating. So clean eating is not the burgers, the bread on the burger. You can eat the burger. Fries, not included in clean eating. Clean eating, healthy eating, clean eating, and maybe running a slight deficit, caloric deficit. So use that TDEE calculator and look at the different deficit amounts that are at the bottom once you put in all your different numbers. At TDEE, if you want to sponsor FitEmmett, you can just hit me up at FitEmmett@gmail.com or FitEmmettCoaching@gmail.com. We'll get back to you.
Oh, this is a question I came up with. Because I am a lady and I do not like my arms getting too big.
Okay.
How do I tone my arms without bulking up too much? Bulking.
Ooh, you don't want to get jacked.
Mm-mm.
All right. You don't want the big bulky arms. So your jam, which you would need to rock out, is a thing called muscular endurance. So muscular endurance is just basically repetitions with moderate weight. So your jam is not going to be necessarily heavy weights, heavy weights. Your jam is going to be a medium weight that you can do 30 repetitions with. Because you want to make sure in those 30 repetitions, the first 10, your muscles are just waking up. Like they're primed. They're getting blood flow and you're priming them. The next 20 is where the work is going to happen. The last 5 is where the failure is going to happen. And that's the actual muscle growth. Yeah, the shakes. And so I would start with 3 sets of 30, like your bicep curls, your tricep press downs, a lot of your arm movements. And in terms of how to incorporate it during the week, a basic protocol would be like upper Monday, lower Tuesday, upper Wednesday, lower Thursday, and then on Friday do like a core cardio day. Super basic protocol. And on your upper body days, have two of your movements be a strict arm movement, meaning like a bicep curl or tricep press down. It can be a dumbbell bicep curl. It could be a cable press down. So those are going to be like two of the basic bicep moves. Any more questions? You can hit me up. FitEmmett@gmail.
All right. How much cardio should people be doing, or how much cardio do you suggest, or do you do?
Cardio. Depends on. There's so many factors. That's a loaded question because cardio. I really kick up my cardio probably if I got a 12 weeks to a competition. I'm really kicking cardio probably 3 weeks till I get to stage. But I'll do like a warm up before and a cool down afterwards. Depends on where you're at. If you're totally deconditioned, I would probably shoot for an average of at least 20 minutes of cardio a day, just to bring up your level of conditioning. You can check with your resting heart rate. That's a good indicator of your level of deconditioning. So your Apple Watch, if you have an Apple Watch, you can check all your stats on your Apple Watch. If this is a plug for Apple, come holler at me. But you can also check your resting heart rate by finding your pulse and counting 10 seconds on the clock and how many beats can you get in that 10 seconds multiplied by 6. And that would be your beats per minute. But your resting heart rate is typically an indicator. If your resting heart rate's like 90, that means you're totally out of shape. I'll say let's give you a good solid number. 80 or above, you're deconditioned. If you're 80 or above that's when you need to do at least 30 minutes of cardio before your workout every single day. Intensity wise, I would start wherever you're at. Like, remember, this is a marathon, not a sprint. So if you need to start on a treadmill walking at 2 miles an hour, let's start there for 30 minutes. If you need to start on a treadmill walking at 1.5 miles an hour, start there. And then next week, bump it up to 1.8. And then the week after that, bump it up to 1.9.
What kind of diets should people be following, if any, or does it just depend
Diet.
on everything?
There's some psychology behind that word. I know. I hate to get deep. Is it a diet or is it like a
lifestyle
healthy eating plan?
Yeah.
Or is it maybe a lifestyle shift? Or maybe like we need to contextually find another way to reference. I usually say nutrition guide, nutrition plan, healthy eating plan. Right. I find all kinds of ways to like shift the wording because diet just is in my mind, and I don't know, you may be able to like speak on that, but diet in my mind, it sounds like something that you go on and off of.
Yeah,
I'm not on my diet right now because I'm on the lake. I'm not on my diet because you know what? This beer is I'm about to drink 5 of these, you know, and smoke 3 of these.
When do you increase the weight on an exercise?
Just when you can work up to the last 2 repetitions and you still feel like you had more to go. You still feel like you got like 10 more to go, and if you got into the last 2 repetitions of a movement, then you need to go up. And it's all incremental. Remember, this is a marathon, not a sprint. So if it could be incremental, it could be 5 pounds the next time you do that movement. Doesn't have to be 50 pounds. But if it's a bigger movement like a squat, it could be a 50-pound jump. Make sure your form is right. Okay. I don't want to see you doing like back bends when you're supposed to be doing squats.
What should I eat before or after a workout?
Before or after a workout? It depends. Like I have a lot of my clients doing the intermittent fasting protocol, and they work out in the morning. It depends on the person. Some people need something on their system, or else their blood glucose levels will drop so low, and they just feel like they're going to pass out. That person, just maybe like a handful of nuts. Just not even a handful of nuts, just a couple almonds or something like that on the system, just to give you some carb, because almonds or nuts are they're complete in the sense that they give you carb, fat, and protein. So that's why nuts are usually a good snack. But just like a handful of nuts before your workout, just to get you started. But if you're doing the intermittent fasting protocol, maybe something more like a little bit of collagen with your coffee, just to put something in your system.
Okay.
And that'll still keep you in that fasted mode. You just don't want to get over 50 calories if you're fasting.
All right.
So I think collagen's what, 10 calories maybe? It's 10 grams of protein. I know that. So 10 grams of protein times 4, that's 40. And then coffees. I look at MyFitnessPal a lot. So and I look at other people's nutrition every day, all day.
What is your secret, or what motivates you?
Secret. Like I said, I want to see everybody win, and I want to see all my clients win. If you have a winning environment around you of people that are actually achieving their goals, and I know when people achieve their goals, their lives are being changed. Not only their lives being changed, but their family's life is being changed. Their husband, their wives' lives are being changed, because you're a totally different person when you're healthy and fit. If you're not healthy, I don't care, what you own, how many houses you got, how much money you have in the bank. If you're unhealthy and sick all the time and just not loving yourself from a physical standpoint, or from a health, even internally from a health standpoint, then none of that even matters. So your health is your true wealth. So I know that when people are healthy and they're confident and they're feeling good in their own skin, you operate different in your marriage, in your relationships, whether it be work or with other, with your colleagues, with whatever extracurricular activities. Like your interactions are just so much better. You're happier, you're healthier, and it just vibrates, emits from you, and that's how we change the world.
All right. How do we stay motivated to work out this summer?
How do we stay motivated to work out this summer? Accountability. Accountability helps. And I know if your family is anything like my family, they like to call you out when you're not doing what you're supposed to do. So like if you get your wife, your cousins, your mom, your dad, or whoever on board and say, hey, we're doing this thing, we're doing this fitness thing, or I'm doing this fitness thing. You let everybody know. Some people don't like to tell other people when they're doing a fitness program or fitness workouts, because they don't want to fail, or they don't want other people to see them potentially fail. They don't want to leave the door open for failure. So if they do fail, no one knows. So no one's there to hold me accountable. No one's to say, hey, what about that? Are you supposed to be eating that? I thought you were doing this fitness program or this fitness plan. And even getting your family members involved with your workouts. I have one of my clients, her kids actually do her workouts with her. So she does the app where the workouts are in the app and they're in video format. And she basically loads the video from her phone, syncs them up to the television, and she does her workouts with the kids in the den area from her phone. So pretty cool. And her kids are like, Mom, are we gonna do the workout today? So that's a whole level of accountability. I mean, if you're one of my coaching clients, I'm gonna call you weekly. I'm gonna check in with you weekly to make sure you're doing what you need to do. But listen, I can't be with you every single day. But guess what? Your kids can. And if you have young kids, your young kids are probably going to call you on your stuff if you're not doing the right thing. Like, Mommy, are you supposed to be eating that cake?
How do we lift the booty and tone the legs for the summer fits and bikinis?
Booty. Booty. Rocking everywhere. All right. A lot of booty workouts out there in the world. A lot of butt workouts. Okay, so don't look for me to put out a butt workout, y'all. Like me doing the butt workout. I can instruct the butt workout, but I'm not going to do the butt workout because my butt's already big. That's from 20 years of doing low squats. All right, so low and slow makes the
booty grow.
All right, low and slow makes the booty grow. With your squats, low and slow. I see a lot of girls banging out them squats, and they're going low, but they're not going slow. All right, they're trying to get 20. The goal is 20 reps. They're trying to get their 20 reps in a lot of time. It's just
marinate.
Yeah, let it marinate, y'all. Let the weight marinate. So it's all about time under tension. Look that up. Time under tension. You want to make sure your butt muscles are engaged. Okay, so the hip hinge is super important. The hip hinge is very important. As you sit back into your butt with your squat, make sure you go down slowly, feeling your butt the whole entire way. If you don't feel your butt buns the whole entire way, other muscle groups are working. Low and slow.
Why should I order your book? What is the book about?
Oh, wow, that's a good question. Why should you order the book? If you feel compelled to order it, order it. A lot of the proceeds go to a nonprofit that I support called Soul to Soul. And we do a lot of work over in Africa to help with the schools, building schools and water system and everything. So that aside from that, one of the main questions, or one of the big questions from the book that a lot of people basically ask themselves is basically, who am I and why am I here? So that the book is actually a compilation of some time that I spent asking or answering those questions for myself, and it's somewhat of a review of my journal writings and some of the questions that I asked myself, because you'll go through each chapter, and each chapter has some context, and it is somewhat spiritual, biblical references in there, but it also asks questions of yourself, or ask questions of you based on what you read. What do you think about where you're at in your life specifically? So it'll reference some questions that you might want to ask yourself. And we all want to know why we're here. What are we to do here? That's all a question. We're all human beings on a journey, but I feel like it's more to our journey than we sometimes see here on the surface. And the book just helps us all to kind of ask some of those serious questions, and possibly find some answers to some of those serious questions. All right, dude, go away.
All right, Fit for Purpose.
Go buy it. Fit for Purpose. Sorry, there was a wasp that tried to invade our space. I was trying to send love and tell him to go about his way. He had a purpose. Yeah, respectfully. He had a purpose, and hopefully his purpose wasn't to sting us just now. So I'm glad it wasn't. He was fit for a purpose too.
He's going somewhere. He's on a mission.
He's on a mission. You're on a mission too. So the book Fit for Purpose will hopefully help you discover your greater purpose in life, with a couple little fitness references in there too. Because guess what? When your name is FitEmmett, and people see you in Harris Teeter and they say, "Hey, what's up, FitEmmett?" You have to kind of talk fitness every now and then. You know what I'm saying? Hey, FitEmmett. Yeah. Well, I'm actually going to eat some cake here. I'm actually here at Harris Teeter to buy a cake for my wife, ice cream cake. So, I love you, honey. But every birthday, she gets her ice cream cake.
Yeah, you gotta have cake on your birthday.
Not just any cake. It's ice cream cake. What's up, y'all? FitEmmett Coaching Group. If you're not in a FitEmmett Coaching Group on Facebook, join. If you're not on Facebook, just message me wherever you're at. I'm FitEmmett at Gmail, and I'll put you in our newsletter. Because our newsletter, we're going to have this interview, these questions in our newsletter as well. And the newsletter is on the new website. It's on the FitEmmett Coaching website too. So stay tuned, folks. More to come.
All right.
I think so this is 12 ounces. I got 12 ounces of water in my system so far. How many of these do I have to drink to get, let's see, 64 ounces? 5 of these? Give me some math. That's 60. So I need to drink 6 of these. 6 of these to get my water intake for the day.
There you go.
Winning.
Hydrating.
Hydrating.
Okay.
This is not contour. This is all props, y'all. This is totally me joking. Anyway.
All right.
I want to light this one time. I want to see what happens. And I'm going to get my inhaler. I'm going to get my inhaler ready. Not answered. Answers. And cut. We're gonna do this right. We're gonna have fun doing it.